Feel the speed, the thrill, high octane drama can't get our fill. Engines roaring loud, heartbeats on the rise. On NFR, see the sparks in our eyes. Racing through the night, chasing every turn. On NFR, adrenaline we burn. Pit stops and fast cars, it's a wild ride. NFR, in our veins we can't hide. NFR, feel the rush, feel the speed. Formula One dreams, we take the lead. On NFR, we're flying high. Under the lights, we touch the sky. Yeah. Every lap a story, every driver's dream. On NFR, racing's the supreme. Checker flags waving, champions arise. NFR brings the glory to our eyes. NFR, where the legends are born. Speeding past the limits, engines reborn. In the fast lane, every second counts. NFR, the thrill always mounts. NFR, feel the rush, feel the speed. Formula One dreams, we take the lead. On NFR, we're flying high. Under the lights, we touch the sky. NFR with the rush, feel the speed. Formula One dreams, we take the lead. On NFR's lane, every second counts. NFR, the thrill always mounts. NFR, feel the rush, feel the speed. Formula One dreams, we take the lead. On NFR, we're flying high. Under the lights, we touch the sky. You move to NFR, feel the speed.
Well, gather round, folks, let me spin you a tale about a race car driver, George Russell by name. He's quick on the track, but don't get too excited, 'cause when it comes to greatness, well, he's not quite knighted. He's good, but not that great. Oh George, he's got the speed, but not the fake. Oh George, he looks like Woody from Toy Story, that's no lie. And when the race goes wrong, oh how that boy can cry. He's got the helmet, he's got the car, but when it comes to win, he's not quite up to par. He's got the look like Woody with a cowboy hat, but when he's in the pit, you'll see him shed a tear stack. Now don't get me wrong, he's got some skill, but when you're talking about the best, he's not in that mill. He'll race you hard, give you quite the fright, but in the end, he's more known for his tears at night. He's good, but not that great. Oh George, he's got the speed, but not the fate. Oh George, he looks like Woody from Toy Story, that's no lie. And when the race goes wrong, oh how that boy can cry. So here's to George, with his heart on his sleeve. In the world of Formula One, he's got a lot to achieve. He might not be the champ, but he sure is fun. So let's give a cheer for George, our Woody on the run. He's good, but not that great. Oh George, he's got the speed, but not the fate. Oh George, he looks like Woody from Toy Story, that's no lie. And when the race goes wrong, oh how that boy can cry. So here's to George, with his heart on his sleeve. In the world of Formula One, he's got a lot to achieve. He might not be the champ, but he sure is fun. So let's give a cheer for George, our Woody on the run.
the track like a shooting star. Feel the rush, NFR. Lap by lap, watch them spin. Victory's close, who will win? In our heads, the engine's din. NFR, let's begin. NFR, lights are green. Zooming fast, slick machine. Every twist, every scene. Catch the action on your screen. NFR, yeah. NFR, yeah. Drama high, stars afar. Round the track like a shooting star. Feel the rush, NFR. Lap by lap, watch them spin. Victory's close, who will win? In our heads, the engine's din. NFR, let's begin.
Liam Lawson rolled into Red Bull's gate. Kiwi kid with dreams so great. 2 races in, he hit the wall. Max Verstappen wrecked him, y'all. He thought he'd shine, but oh sweet son, Max chewed him up like a 2-day run. 2 races and a teardrop, that's all he got. 5 faster than a jackrabbit shot. Max destroyed another teammate. It's plain to see from Ricciardo to Lawson, he's a one-man spree. Daddy Rick tried with his big old grin, but Max spun him out, said I always win. Gasly and Albon, they took their turn, crashed and burned, oh how they yearned. Perez hung on till his tires were flat, now Williams gone, imagine that. 2 races and a teardrop, that's all he got. 5 faster than a jackrabbit shot. Max destroyed another teammate. It's plain to see from Ricciardo to Lawson, he's a one-man spree. Red Bull barn's a lonely place. If you ain't Max, you're out of the race. Liam packed his boots, said I'm done, I reckon. Max just smirked, next victim's beckoning. The pit crew sang, he's too dang fast. Every teammate's a thing of the past. Now Lawson's back with the junior squad, singing why'd I think I'd beat that god. Max's shadow looms so tall and wide. Another teammate's pride just died. From Daniel Pierre out of Checo too. Liam learned what we all knew. 2 races and a teardrop, that's all he got. 5 faster than a jackrabbit shot. Max destroyed another teammate. It's plain to see from Ricciardo to Lawson, he's a one-man spree. So here's to Liam with a beer and a side. 2 races down and a wide-eyed try. Max keeps winning that Dutch tornado. Red Bull's second seat, a big oh no.
Like a shooting star, the engines roar, the tires scream. Fast as lightning, it's the dream. Speed and drama, every turn on NFR, the rubber burns. Feel the thrill of every bend, where the champions transcend. Feel the power at NFR, burning tracks, driving far, where the races never end. NFR. Calls to play on NFR every race day. Commentary sharp and loud, hyping up the roaring crowd. Feel the burning tracks, driving far, where the races never end. And F1, only friend. And now Fernando calls the play on NFR race day. Commentary sharp and loud, hyping up the roaring crowd. Feel the power at NFR, burning tracks, driving far, where the races never end. And F1, only friend. Deaf Queen, the top supporter scene, the crowd where speed is keen. NFR, the place to be. Join the race, watch and see. In the quiet lanes of Silverstone town, folks are whispering about a boy falling down. Got a seat from his daddy, money's the king. Driving that Williams ain't like riding free. Tires spin, engines roar, but the podium's far. His wheels hit the gravel, now there's damage to the car. Got the world at his feet, yet he fumbles the lead. His dreams race away, but he's not in the speed. Daddy's money, daddy's ride, crashing dreams, nowhere to hide. Bought him a name that can't buy a skill. Lance keeps trying, but the track's all uphill. Now he's got his own team with a famous name. Aston Martin's the brand, but it's still the same shame. Every corner, every turn, the crashes unfold. Dreams wrapped in carbon fiber, truth left untold. Paddock folks shake their heads with a sigh as the green car spins and the hopes run dry. No matter the funds, it's a harsh game of pain. $1 million toys can't shelter the rain. Daddy's money, daddy's ride, crashing dreams, nowhere to hide. Bought him a name but can't buy a skill. Lance keeps trying, but the track's all uphill. Daddy's money, daddy's ride, crashing dreams, nowhere to hide. Bought him a name but can't buy a skill. Lance keeps trying, but the track's all uphill. Lance keeps trying, but the track's all uphill.
Max the Maverick.
He rolls to the grid, eye sharp as a blade. A storm in the cockpit, never afraid. Teammates tremble, they can't keep pace. Max takes the wheel, owns every race. From car to crown, he carved his way. A predator born to slay the day. The records fall, the doubters fade. A legend's forged, the price is paid. Max Verstappen, king of the fight. Burning the track in the dead of night. Outruns the pack, leaves them behind. Fastest heart with a mastermind. Not the quickest car, but he still shines. Bends the rules, rewrites the lines. Max Verstappen, hear the roar. The champ who always begs for more. Our bond, they tried their best, but Max just laughs, aces the test. He dances through corners, a devil's art. Tears up the field, rips it apart. Red Bull's wings, they used to soar. Now it's Max who evens the score. The car's not prime, the rivals grin, but he still finds a way to win. Max Verstappen, king of the fight.
Feel the speed, the thrill, yeah. High octane drama can't get off fill. Engines roaring loud, heartbeats on the rise. On NFR, see the sparks in our eyes. Racing through the night, chasing every turn. On NFR, adrenaline we burn. Pit stops and fast cars, it's a wild ride. NFR, in our veins we can't hide. NFR, feel the rush, feel the speed. Formula One dreams, we take the lead. On NFR, we're flying high. Under the lights, we touch the sky. Yeah. Every lap a story, every driver's dream. On NFR, racing's the supreme. Checker flags waving, champions arise. NFR brings the glory to our eyes. NFR, where the legends are born. Speeding past the limits, engines reborn. In the fast lane, every second counts. NFR, the thrill always mounts. NFR, feel the rush, feel the speed. Formula One dreams, we take the lead. On NFR, we're flying high. Under the lights, we touch the sky. NFR with the rush, feel the speed. Formula One dreams, we take the lead. On NFR swing, every second counts. NFR, the thrill always mounts. NFR, feel the rush, feel the speed. Formula One dreams, we take the lead. On NFR, we're flying high. Under the lights, we touch the sky. You move to NFR, feel the speed, the speed.
Well, gather round, folks, let me spin you a tale about a race car driver, George Russell by name. He's quick on the track, but don't get too excited, cause when it comes to greatness, well, he's not quite knighted. He's good, but not that great. Oh George, he's got the speed, but not the fake. Oh George, he looks like Woody from Toy Story, that's no lie. And when the race goes wrong, oh how that boy can cry. He's got the helmet, he's got the car, but when it comes to win, he's not quite up to par. He's got the look like Woody with a cowboy hat, but when he's in the pit, you'll see him shed a tear stat. Now don't get me wrong, he's got some skill, but when you're talking about the best, he's not in that mill. He'll race you hard, give you quite the fright, but in the end, he's more known for his tears at night. He's good, but not that great. Oh George, he's got the speed, but not the fate. Oh George, he looks like Woody from Toy Story, that's no lie. And when the race goes wrong, oh how that boy can cry. So here's to George, with his heart on his sleeve. In the world of Formula One, he's got a lot to achieve. He might not be the champ, but he sure is fun. So let's give a cheer for George, our Woody on the run. He's good, but not that great. Oh George, he's got the speed, but not the fate. Oh George, he looks like Woody from Toy Story, that's no lie. And when the race goes wrong, oh how that boy can cry. So here's to George, with his heart on his sleeve. In the world of Formula One, he's got a lot to achieve. He might not be the champ, but he sure is fun. So let's give a cheer for George, our Woody on the run.
track like a shooting star. Feel the rush, NFR. Lap by lap, watch them spin. The victory's close. Who will win? In our heads, the engine's din. NFR, let's begin. NFR, lights are green. Zooming fast, slick machine. Every twist, every scene. Catch the action on your screen. NFR, yeah. NFR, yeah. Drama high, stars afar. Round the track like a shooting star. Feel the rush, NFR. Lap by lap, watch them spin. The victory's close. Who will win? In our heads, the engine's din. NFR, let's begin.
Well, Liam Lawson rode into Red Bull's gates. Kiwi kid with dreams so great. 2 races in, he hit the wall. Max Verstappen wrecked him, y'all. He thought he'd shine, but oh sweet son, Max chewed him up like a 2-day run. 2 races and a teardrop, that's all he got. 5 faster than a jackrabbit shot. Max destroyed another teammate. It's plain to see from Ricardo to Lawson, he's a one-man spree. Daddy Rick tried with his big old grin, but Max spun him out, said I always win. Gasly and Albon, they took their turn, crashed and burned, oh how they yearned. Perez hung on till his tires were flat, now Williams gone, imagine that. 2 races and a teardrop, that's all he got. 5 faster than a jackrabbit shot. Max destroyed another teammate. It's plain to see from Ricardo to Lawson, he's a one-man spree. Red Bull barn's a lonely place. If you ain't Max, you're out of the race. Liam packed his boots, said I'm done, I reckon. Max just smirked, next victim's beckoning. The pit crew sang, he's too dang fast. Every teammate's a thing of the past. Now Lawson's back with the junior squad, singing why'd I think I'd beat that god. Max's shadow looms so tall and wide. Another teammate's pride just died. From Daniel Pierre out of Checo too. Liam learned what we all knew. 2 races and a teardrop, that's all he got. 5 faster than a jackrabbit shot. Max destroyed another teammate. It's plain to see from Ricardo to Lawson, he's a one-man spree. So here's to Liam with a beer at his side. 2 races down and a wide-eyed try. Max keeps winning that Dutch tornado. Red Bull's second seat, a big oh no.
Turn on the screen, it's NFR. Feel the rush like a shooting star. The engines roar, the tires scream. Fast as lightning, it's the dream. Speed and drama, every turn on NFR. The rubber burns. Feel the thrill of every bend, where the champions transcend. Feel the power at NFR. Burning tracks, driving far, where the races never end. NFR, only friend. Like Fernando calls the play on NFR. Every race day, commentary sharp and loud, hyping up the roaring crowd. Feel the power driving far, where the races never end. NFR, only friend. And now Fernando calls the play on NFR at race day. Commentary sharp and loud, hyping up the roaring crowd. Feel the power at NFR, burning tracks, driving far, where the races never end. NFR, only friend. Deaf Queen, the top supporter, see in the crowd where speed is keen. NFR, the place to be. Join the race, watch and see. In the quiet lanes of Silverstone town, folks are whispering about a boy falling down. Got a seat from his daddy, money's the king. Driving that Williams ain't like riding free. Tires spin, engines roar, but the podium's far. His wheels hit the gravel, now there's damage to the car. Got the world at his feet, yet he fumbles the lead. His dreams race away, but he's not in the speed. Daddy's money, daddy's ride, crashing dreams, nowhere to hide. Bought him a name that can't buy a skill. Lance keeps trying, but the track's all uphill. Now he's got his own team with a famous name. Aston Martin's the brand, but it's still the same shame. Every corner, every turn, the crashes unfold. Dreams wrapped in carbon fiber, truth left untold. Paddock folks shake their heads with a sigh as the green car spins and the hopes run dry. No matter the funds, it's a harsh game of pain. $1 million toys can't shelter the rain. Daddy's money, daddy's ride, crashing dreams, nowhere to hide. Bought him a name but can't buy a skill. Lance keeps trying, but the track's all uphill. Daddy's money, daddy's ride, crashing dreams, nowhere to hide. Bought him a name but can't buy a skill. Lance keeps trying, but the track's all uphill. Lance keeps trying, but the track's all uphill.
Max the Maverick. He rolls to the grid, eye sharp as a blade. A storm in the cockpit, never afraid. Teammates tremble, they can't keep pace. Max takes the wheel, owns every race. From car to crown, he carved his way. A predator born to slay the day. The records fall, the doubt.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome back. Welcome back to NFR, and welcome back to League v League. course, there was no stream on the channel last night, unfortunately. MotoGP happened, and couldn't be in two places at once. But tonight, it's time for League v League. We're at a very different destination. Been a lot of Middle East lately, a lot of Bahrain, of course, F1 going to Saudi Arabia next week, MotoGP just visiting Qatar. But tonight we're nowhere near the Middle East. Tonight we're in Mexico. Good evening to everybody in the chat. Already a lot of you in the chat. Let's have a look at the poll. I put up a poll earlier on for you guys to vote on. Who are you supporting tonight? SKR currently on 50%. LSA second on 44%, and then, well, suppose all the Fusion viewers are over on the Fusion stream, and that would make sense. This is Wheeze. Of course, we remember it's Faree. Of course, he passed away just a week ago. Of course, we had a tribute race for him on Tuesday night. But I know that for a lot of the League v League drivers, at least from the other leagues, this is their tribute race. No lap times just yet. Just 15 minutes remaining. Remember, it's just a short qualifying session. So that means you're just going to have the one quali. There's no Q2, no Q3. You just got the 18 minutes. Comes up to about 3 runs if you manage your time well. 13.9. That's the first benchmark, but surely it will come down from there. Do apologize, it appears my YouTube is not too happy. That would be my internet. Oh wow, it's really dipping. Appears we are having some issues. Well, it really just comes down to my internet. My internet's going up and down. So hopefully you guys can hear me. It seems like the worst is over. Yeah, but it's still going up and down. So hopefully everything holds together. Worst case scenario, there is another stream, but stay here with NFR. We're going to hopefully get this one going. So what we've missed, Jonas has gone quickest, the 113.9. I was going to say the only driver in the 113s, but no, that's not right. Dion also in the 113s, 1 minute 13.9. Just 200ths of a second covering the front row. Absolutely nothing in it. Let me know in the comment section. Let me know in the comment section if the stream is recovering, if it's looking a little better. Trying to keep one eye on the track, one eye on the stream, and then I'll end up commentating on the stream, which is 20 seconds delayed. It all gets very complicated. So let me know if things have sorted themselves out. It seems to be the case on my side. Jonas, provisional pole. He's in the pits. This is Tian. He's in P2, but how much closer? How much closer can you get than that? Just 200ths of a second between the two. This is 4QM8. That is the black and gold livery that you see there. Saying it's better, but it's still lagging. If the lag does continue to be too bad, I think what you guys can do on your side, I know it's a little annoying, but you can just rewind the stream by about a minute and it tends to help. You're riding now with Wheeze currently in P3, but absolutely nothing. Look at that. 13.9, 13.9, 14.1. 3/10 of a second cover the top three drivers. And Wheeze looking to get even closer. Does get closer. It was a 14.1, it's now a 14.0, but it's not quite good enough to join those two 13s on the front row. Weiss gets awfully close, but he's going to have to dig a little deeper. So this is Dion, 13.9. Jonas still remains in the pits. He's still happy with that first lap, but we will see him out on track again. Just over 7.5 minutes remain in the session. This is Spikes, currently in P9 with a 114.6. Would probably be a good lap anywhere else, but in the League v League, leagues throw all of their best drivers at this, and what tends to happen is you get really close lap times. And a lap that would be maybe impressive on a Sunday, impressive on a Monday, hardly gets you in the top 10. Jonas, Dion and Wheeze remain the top three. I haven't mentioned Blade too much. He's in P4, not too far behind, 14-2. Then the next best is Pantry Star, 14-3. Very, very close there in the midfield. 14-2, 14-3, 14-4. Then we got a treble of 14-5s, a double 14-6, a double 14-7. That is the midfield, if you want to call it that. It's half a second covering 9 drivers. I can't say, you can't really call it a midfield. It extends from the front of the field to the rear of the field. Levy, that's the driver we're currently with. I believe that is one of the Fusion liveries. That's it, the very colourful one. Of course, for QM8, they run the black and gold. Let's see if we can get our eyes on an SKR car. Is there an SKR car out on track? There we go, there's one. No, that's not an SKR car. I believe that is an SKR car. It's obviously usually running the very bright green Salva looking livery. This time around just running the black livery with the green trim, letting you know it is SKR, but just showing respects to everyone's fallen friend. It's Ferrari. Jonas, that's the man we're currently riding with. He's just pulled off to the side there. 113.9, second best, 113.9 as well. Then it's Wheeze, 14-0, desperately trying to get into those 13s. Got really close. Just needs another 10. Down the order, Pantry Star, P5, 14-3. I keep on saying it, there's nothing wrong with that lap. It's a good lap. Just in this field, it's only good enough for P5. It's a difficult race. It's a difficult place to race. It's a great place to race, but it's a difficult place to race because pressure. If you thought you were quick, you're coming into a field that is either just as quick as you, or in some cases, they're called aliens. They're so much quicker than you. They're surely not from here. That is Sky saying it's working. Hopefully that is the case, because my internet dropped from, well, 200 megs to, if the OBS is correct, it dropped from 200 megs to 5 megs. So not ideal. Pantry Star, still the driver we're riding with in P5. This is Wheeze. He has popped it into the 13s, but what can I say? Top 3 drivers, 1 minute 13.9. Trying to work that out. I can't even work that out. I think it's 300ths of a second covering the top 3. Of course, it has happened once that 3 drivers got identical lap times in qualifying. It's not the case today, but it's awfully close to it. 919, 937, 949. Nothing in it with a minute and a half to go. Wheeze is in the pits. It'll be interesting to see if he tries to get out. Don't think he'll be able to make it out in time, so this is going to be between Jonas and Tian. I think Wheeze... Here we go, no movement from Wheeze, and there's not enough time surely. So it'll be just about these two. Pantry Star retires from the session, he's had enough. Guys are saying WSKR, definitely. We got one at the front in P1, then Tian in P2. Remember, he's racing for 4Q M8. That's one of the leagues making their debut in the League v League. Of course, they weren't with us in Season 1. But it's a popular concept, and more leagues want to join. Tian goes quick as 13.6, quicker than we've seen anyone go so far. Where is Jonas? That was quick. That's a 13.6. Everything's been so close up until now. Then he went and found 0.3 of a second somewhere. Surely he wasn't sandbagging. Where did he find that 0.3? Only he will know. I tell you, he won't be telling this man. 13.9. Jonas needs to find 0.3. Would have thought he was comfortable just a lap ago. Wheeze is out on track, but he's taken the checkered flag immediately. Not quite sure why he came out. Tian 13.6, but we ride with Jonas as he tries to put the rest of this lap together. And as I say that, commentator's curse right in the middle of the stadium section, and that's the end of that for Jonas. He got awfully close, but that 13.6 at the end, I think he was just pushing. He had to strangle every single tenth out of that car. He just pushed it a little bit too far. Here's Taserface going over the line. Will he improve from P12? He's taken the checkered flag, and there's no improvement. Whilst it's still out on track, this is Frana, currently in P15 with a 1 minute 15.4. Dives into the pits, so no improvement on the cards, and I think everybody else has taken the checkered flag. Reminder to all the viewers, as well as all the drivers, if any of the drivers are listening to the stream, there is a 5-minute mandatory break between qualifying and the race. That means nobody presses X, everybody holds on for 5 minutes. Just gives the drivers an opportunity to have a little break, discuss strategy with their teammates, and decide on their next step. There are your results. Tian takes pole position from Jonas, 0.3 of a second at the end. Then Wheeze, oh so close, second row. He's going to be joined by Blade in P4. Then we've got Sticky Nicky P5, Pantry Star P6, Spikes P7, I can't even say that, Mongo P8, Levy P9, and Otter makes up the top 10. Remember, just the 16 cars in this league, so Trev 11, Taserface 12, I think that's Ragnarok 13, Teddy, Drunk Teddy 14, Frunner 15, and was that Baby J? I think it was. In P16. Remember, 16 drivers does not mean we don't have a full lobby. In fact, it means we do have a full lobby. 4 leagues come together in the League v League. 4 drivers from each and an engineer for each team. That gives you the 20 in the lobby, and just the 16 are drivers. Of course, Like I mentioned earlier, there is a 5-minute break. So usually this pause is no longer than a minute, but there will be a slight pause going into the race. Guys discussing their strategy. Remember, it's a very different championship. This, in a regular championship, it's a driver's championship. Whether it's your teammate, whether it's just any other opponent, you're racing each other. When it comes to this, it's so different. You don't have one teammate, you've got 3 teammates. There is no individual race. There is no individual championship. It comes down to getting as many of those 4 cars into the points as possible. So you got to work as a team. Can't be fighting your teammates. It's the very last thing you want to do. Quick look at our calendar. Of course, there we are, round 3, April 14th. That's my aunt's birthday. Luckily I remembered and I wished her earlier. Round 3, Mexico. Then next week, I have no idea. I have no idea where we're going next week. Next week will be the LSA hosted round here in the League v League. That means LSA will decide on the circuit. All of their drivers, their team, they'll know where they're going. The rest of the leagues, well, they will only find out a few minutes prior to the race beginning. Then round 5, similar situation, or exactly the same situation, except SKR is going to be the host league. So for round 5, SKR is going to be the league that chooses the destination. Everybody else is going to find out a few minutes before. Next time we know where we're going, that'll be on the 5th of May. We're going to Brazil for round 6. Then the other 2 leagues, Fusion round 7, 4QM8 round 8, they get to decide the venue. Then we're doing a mystery circuit that'll be decided over on the Fusion YouTube channel for round 9. And we're going to end off the season where all seasons should end, Abu Dhabi. As far as well, there's only a Constructors' Championship. As far as do we call it a Team Championship, Constructors' Championship, or a League Championship? I have no idea. Team Championship. Call it I have no idea. Call it what you want. LSA leads the championship. We'll call it the championship. 79 points. SKR very, very close behind. 76 points, and that's just consistency throughout. For QM8, well, they've got a lot of work to do. Just the 22 points. And Fusion close on 21. So for QM8 and Fusion, they'll be hoping for a strong result this evening, get as many of those cars into the top 10 as possible. Got Dixie Killer in the chat, Death Queen, Visor, Leaded Sky. I think I saw Skull here earlier, but he's been very quiet, just the one message. We've got Davis. I think we saw Jevon in here earlier as well, Ulrich as well. So lots of you have joined for round 3 of this League v League championship. And what a championship it's been so far. I just brought up that championship table. I'll bring it up again. Just the 3 points covering the top 2 leagues. Remember, LSA is the returning champions. They won season 1, and they did so in a very impressive manner, dominating the season throughout. But it was SKR that got the brilliant result in the final round, and they've been able to carry that form forward into season 2. And after 2 rounds, just 3 points separate those teams. And what's even more impressive is that those are 4-car teams. SKR has just gone top on the viewers poll. Of course, there's a poll over on the in the comment section. If you haven't voted, if you're watching and you haven't voted on the poll, go into the comment section and just give your vote. Who will you be supporting for tonight? LSA 44%, SKR 50%, and then 4QM8. Well, there's none of you here apparently. And Fusion, there's one of you floating around. And then on the other side of the championship, you've got LSA and SKR fighting there for P1, but 4QM8 and Fusion 22-21, also very close. Both of those leagues will be looking for a good result today. Slightly got the jump on me. They're off for the formation lap already. Luckily we haven't missed any action. Remember, just the 16 drivers. 4 leagues come together. 4 drivers represent each league, giving you a total of 16 drivers. The other 4 spots that you can't see, well, they're taken up by an engineer. Each team has an engineer, so it is a 5-man team. You can only see 4 of them. But there is another one, and he's in all of their ears. I think what I'll try and do for next week, so I'll try and get a list of those engineers, give them some credit on the stream. Let's bring up some stats. Obviously with the technical issues at the beginning of qualifying, I forgot to bring up your stats. There we go, no softs anywhere in sight, so obviously that means that soft tyre doesn't last a very long time. Nobody's showing any trust in that. Seems to be a split just between the hard and the medium, and the hard seems to be the slightly more popular choice. Everyone at the front, at least in the top 5, going on the hard. Pantry Star in P6 going on the medium, hoping for a jump at the start. Hopefully we get a decent camera angle for the start. The game's not really known for giving us those. This seems pretty decent. There we go. Now we can see the lights. So we're going to wait for the 5 red lights. They'll come on one by one. Then there'll be a pause. Don't be Lando Norris. Stay in your spot. And now you can go. Race down into turn 1, and it's a long stretch down into turn 1. Hopefully no drama into turn 1. It's 4QM8 at the front. Where did all my stats go? There we go. Tion leads the way. Wheeze P2. Jonas P3. Now, if it wasn't for that one lap right at the end that took the 3/10 and secured pole position, these 3 drivers you're looking at the front of the field, they were extremely close in qualifying, and if that translates to race pace, they should be inseparable. Monga picks up the first penalty of the evening. Hope that's not for track limits. Let's just have a look. Of course it's for track limits. 3-second penalty for Monga. Just surprising that it came so early. Thought maybe it was for a collision, but that is a track limits infringement on lap 1 of 36. To everyone watching, thanks for putting through those technical issues in qualifying. They were pretty rough. I was trying to keep an eye on the stream, and yeah, it didn't look good. But you all stayed here. Now we're down to the business end. Lap 2 of 36 is still Dion. Wheeze P2, Jonas P3, Pantry Star. He has picked up a position. Remember, in fact, he's picked up 2. Started in P6 on the medium compound, looking to make up a few spots. And that's exactly what he's done. He's picked up a couple. And before those mediums start to fall off, he needs to make the most of them. Maybe get himself involved in this battle for the top 3. Sometimes the driver thinks, this isn't my battle. The guy behind me is simply too quick. He's going to get past me inevitably. I'm just going to let him go. It's the worst thing you can do. Remember, every single thing you do in this race could come back to bite you. Turns out you getting involved in that race, slowing them down, could become a very big factor later on if there's some sort of safety car. All sorts of liveries flashing across our screens. It's a little bit difficult to see the difference between the Fusion and the LSA when they're next to each other. They both have purple. Of course, LSA going with their classic livery, the livery you're used to from last season. Those are the returning champs. Currently in P1 in the championship, but they don't have a driver in the top 3. Currently, as things stand, Tian leads 4QM8. Then it's Wheeze, SKR, followed by Jonas, another SKR driver. Leaded Sky asking, how do you get 3 track limits in 2 corners? Not really sure, but I have experienced, doesn't happen very often, but I have experienced sometimes if you cut a corner a little too badly, well, it just skips over those warnings and throws a penalty in your face. That might have been the case. He might have jumped one of these chicanes. If that is the case, really needs to watch those white lines till the end of the race, because that could accumulate to a very nasty number before the end of the race. I think he has been able to keep it down to those initial 3 seconds, so it hasn't added on from that. If it was 3 seconds a lap, well, he'd be disqualified by lap 10. I believe there is a limit on track limits, penalties. We just don't see it very often, but it tends to be around the 30-second mark. So that means you'd have to pick up 10 penalties and essentially 30 warnings. I suppose after 30 warnings you probably deserve that disqualification. Wheeze leads from Jonas, but not much longer. Jonas is going to stay in front. Wheeze wants to get in front. Dion, now the man in P3. Things switching around. The name's the same. The order far from decided. Jonas, Wheeze, Dion. And what this is doing, it's allowing Pantry Star, might not normally have the pace of these top 3. He's got the medium, so it gives him that little bit of an advantage. And then the fact that they're switching places, fighting each other, maybe even robbing a little bit of the rubber on the sides. It's just allowing Pantry Star to stay with them, stay within that DRS. And he's able to stay in this race a little longer. As for Spikes, he has fallen out of DRS in P5. This was the man we were talking about. Where is he? There he is. Monga. Remember, he picked up a penalty on lap 1, but he has since been able to calm things down. Still remains on that 3-second penalty. I think only he will know what exactly happened there, and possibly his teammates, because he probably would have shouted something into his mic. For the most part, all of these teams will be either in a Discord chat or in a party chat of some sort. They'll all be in communication. They'll know exactly what the other is doing, what the plan is, who's on what tyre. The black and gold livery of Ragnarok. It's a 4QM8 car. Remember, just the top 10 score points. We have a full lobby of 16 drivers for the League v League event. That's the most allocation of drivers we can have in a League v League event. Of course, in 2026 they're going to have to add 2 slots to the lobby, so we're going to have 22 teams. Speaking of extra cars, that was 3 wide briefly. Tian, Jonas, Wheeze. Again, the 3 names remain the same, the order changes, and Pantry Star, best seat in the house. Seem to have muted myself. Dion still leads the way. That is a 4QM8 car. Then half a second back, Jonas. Another 4/10ths, Wheeze. Sounds like an exaggeration, but I think the top 3 are further apart than we've seen them before. 1 second covers the top 3. Then Pantry Star. He has now started to fall off from the top 3. I'll let you just enjoy the sounds of the cars for a minute. I'll be back with you in just a minute. There we go, we're back. Sorry about that. Well, I needed to drink something. My voice was just about to go. Dion leads the way, Wheeze in P2, Jonas P3, no change at the front, and they're actually a little bit closer. I was worried about them starting to spread out. Still 7/10ths of a second. Cover those 3 drivers. Then Spikes in P4. He's actually just taken over from Pantry Star. Remember, Pantry Star was doing something a little different, went with the medium tyre. It really helped him out in that very first stint of the race. But now maybe those mediums just starting to slip away. First we saw him slip away from the top 3. And now Spikes has been able to get past him. Pantry Star down into P5. This is Sticky. Do I call him Sticky? Do I call him Nicky? Or do I call him the combination? Combination sounds problematic. So I think we'll stick with Nicky. Or maybe Sticky. Whichever comes out when we get there. Very familiar livery if you watched round 1. White and purple. Of course they made a special gold livery for the final race. Celebrate their championship. Season 2 though, things haven't gone all their way. It's been this team here. The team in the comment section. SKR. In the special black and green livery today. Yeah, my voice today is well, it's not working with me. Jonas leads the way, Wheeze in P2, 3/10 of a second, and then Dion, well, he's just waiting. The moment those two engage, he's gonna pounce. It's a difficult situation to be in because now you've got Jonas and Wheeze, they're driving for the same team. So they're not technically racing each other. They just, well, they want to get to the end of the race in those positions preferably. But they have Tion. And they have to manage Tion. They have to decide what they're going to do. Of course, the one benefit they do have in the League v League is we use the F1 World cars, which means the teammates don't necessarily share a garage, so they can fit on the same lap regardless of being this close to each other. They shouldn't double stack. Problem is you don't really know who you're sharing that garage with. You could be sharing it with your nearest rival. Virtual safety car out on track. Is it a virtual safety car? Yes, hopefully that's all it is, just the virtual safety car. There we go, just the virtual safety car. Of course, last week on this channel we saw an example of, on our screens, it said virtual safety car, but on track it very much wasn't. Got Davids here in the comment section saying, giving the other teams, LSA that is, giving the other teams giving them a chance to, well, sniff the championship. So, not have a chance at feeling the championship, no, just sniffing the championship. Almost like if you're a fan of MotoGP, then you'll know the Marquez brothers. Of course, Marc Marquez needs no introduction, 9 times a world champion. His brother Alex, on the other hand, he's won Moto3, the Moto3 championship, won the Moto2 championship. He's coming to MotoGP, very competitive rider, but still no race victory this season. 7 second places. And I think about 6 of those were behind his brother. So similar scenario. His brother just lets him sniff the victory, and then usually with 4 or 5 laps to go opens up the gap, and Or squashes all the dreams. Alex Marquez will have to fight another day. Dion leads the way from Wheeze. Jonas in P2. I think everyone who's in here has already voted on the poll because the poll's not moving at all. 50% for SKR, 44% for LSA. There was someone in here, I think it was David's, an LSA supporter, so have you voted on the poll? Of course, if you haven't, everybody go vote on the poll. Let's see how many viewers are from where exactly. Wheeze leads from Jonas. It's still in SKR 1-2. Dion still in P3. Then we got some more SKR drivers in 4 and 5. It's Pantry Star followed by Spikes. This would be a fantastic result for SKR in the championship. Then we've got the first of the LSA drivers. That's the team currently leading the championship, the returning champs from season 1. Their top performing driver at the moment, Nicky in P6. And we've got a Fusion Racing, Taserface. Some more LSA drivers, Monga P8, 4QM8 P9, that's Drunk Teddy. I was going to say there's Otter and then I couldn't see him. There he is, 4QM8, the purple and gold. Unfortunately for Fusion, just a lot of their cars outside the points. They need those points. That goes for Fusion and for QM8. They're battling for third place in the championship. The battle at the front of the championship, well, that comes down to 3 points. And as things currently stand, it's advantage SKR. 4 drivers. High up in the points. Got Jonas and Wheeze, P1 and 2. Then you got Dion in P3. They haven't been able to shake him off. Stays right there. And then some more SKR in 4 and 5. Death Queen chasing away the LSA fans. Feel sorry for the LSA fans. A few of them come in here and show their sport on the NFR channel, and well, this is trying not to show bias here, but this is very much SKR territory. Of course, currently the 2 leagues broadcast on the NFR channel are SKR. These cars you're looking at now, that's on a Sunday at 6 p.m. as well as SAFRL on a Tuesday at 8 p.m. Both of those leagues were part of season 1. So SAFRL not taking part this time round, giving way to another league. So a lot of the drivers from SAFRL and SKR do cross over. And now the pit window. Pit window starts to take effect. The medium runners will come in. Next part of the race is crucial. Of course, this is the part of the race where if a safety car were to come out when half the cars have pit, half of the other cars were expecting to go longer. This is one of those times where a safety car can really mess things up. Of course, lots of times we see early safety cars and they don't tend to do anything really. Everyone stays out, holds on to track position, with the exception of one or two drivers maybe coming into the pits to repair damage. But this is where a safety car could really mix things up. And I think the last of the teams that want that situation is the team up front. SKR 1-2-4-5. Or am I right? 1-2. I think they've split. Yes, they have split. One of them's coming to the pits. That's Pantry Star. Pantry Star was in P5. He's come out. He's come into the pits and he's come back out on a set of hard tires in P8. I think he's the first of those SKR drivers to come into the pits. I think he may have been the only one on the medium compound. The rest of the team all going for the hard. Remember, SKR have come a long way. If you watched the first few rounds of Season 1, there were races that were quite disastrous. I think there was even one race where no SKR drivers finished. Now, they're P2 in the championship, and if things were to finish like this, well, they'd lead the League v League championship. We still leads from Dion, from Jonas. This car's even closer together. You want to keep on saying they're gonna split apart eventually, they're gonna break apart eventually, but they just consistently match each other lap after lap. 7/10 of a second cover the three drivers. Nothing has changed since the start of the race, only the order, but the three names that occupy the top three, well, they haven't left that top three since. Of course, the pit window may change that. Who's going to pit first? All of those cars now on the hard tire. Some will pit a lap earlier, some will pit a lap later, some will try the undercut. Sometimes that works, sometimes it doesn't. Depends really where you come out on track. Would love to tell you what track it was. Monaco. I don't think it was Monaco. It may have been Jeddah. Something close to Jeddah. Maybe Singapore, maybe Baku. I'm almost certain it had something to do with the street track. Of course, if you want to look back on any of that, all footage of previous races stays on the NFR channel, so you can go back, you can go look at any race, whether it's from round 1 of the League v League, whether it's from 2 rounds ago in SKR and SAFRL. There's also some other leagues that aren't on this channel anymore. You can even go watch the Sim Racing World Cup. The internet now just starting to raise a red flag again. Hopefully that disappears. Wheeze, Jonas, Spikes, top 3, 20 laps apiece on their hard tires. Tian, well, he's coming to the pits. He was the first one out of those three, the three that were so close together. They were separated by 7/10 of a second the last time we checked on them. Out of those three, this was the first one to pit. Tian. Has he made the right choice? Will the undercut work? I'm almost certain the undercut will work. The only question is, how strong will that undercut be? And has he caught the other drivers just napping a little? As for the other drivers, where are the other drivers? There's the leader. Is he coming into the pits? Absolutely not. He's going around again. Wheeze versus Jonas down the straight. Just checking in on the leaders to see if they were coming into the pits, and apparently not. They're side by side down the main straight. What about Spikes? Also does not come into the pits. And that does raise the question, what is Tian thinking about doing a little differently that we don't know about? Jonas versus Wheeze, 4/10 of a second. Of course, Tian was very much part of that battle for a long time, but he was the first car to pit. He has since come out in P4. He is 6/10 of a second behind Spikes, and here we go. There are those leaders. Jonas, Wheeze, they come into the pits together. They qualified next to each other. They raced each other for the entire race up until this point, and now they come into the pits together, inseparable. Tian, Jonas, 1-2. Wheeze in P3. And that's fantastic because now Jonas and Wheeze, that gap. Sometimes we see a battle throughout a race and then a pit stop separates them. Well, they're going to stay together. Of course, they're not racing each other, they're racing as a team. And that means Tian isn't just racing one car, he's racing two of them. Lidded Sky, didn't catch your... Sorry, there is like a 20-second delay, so I try and catch your comments just sometimes. Well, he said it's going to be a soft tire shootout. Well, there's no soft tires to be seen. So it's Tian out front, then Wheeze, then Jonas. It's those same three names. Now remember, they were a lot closer together. Wheeze and Jonas still very close together. Tian, he's found 2.4 seconds. He's 2.4 seconds up the road. How did he get 2.4 seconds up the road? Well, that's the power of the undercut. He came in earlier, which means for 2 laps, he had that fresher rubber, he had that better traction. He was just doing better laps than what Wheeze and Jonas were able to do. Means by the time Wheeze and Jonas came into the pits and came back out, well, it built up a bit of an advantage. That's given him that gap, you see, 2.5 seconds. Now, just as you get the advantage at the beginning of the run, well, you do get a disadvantage at the end of the run. Just as your laps are, just as you pitted 2 laps earlier than anybody else, towards the end of the race, it also means your tires are going to be 2 laps older than anyone else around you. And if those mediums are pretty close to the end, those 2 laps could mean a lot. Of course, it is a bit of a risk you take, pitting early. You're going to have the advantage initially, but then towards the end of the race, you could seriously regret things. Pantry Star. We haven't spoken too much about Pantry Star, but he's going strong there in P4, defending from Otter. Pantry Star 8 laps now on those hards. Lots of different strategies. Of course, all these teams should have discussed all of these strategies. I doubt any of these drivers just did anything random. Some of the teams will be on identical strategies. Others, they will have split their strategy to try different things. And look at these two. Every time we go to them, they're side by side. It's Wheeze and Jonas. They'd usually be racing each other. They are racing each other, but they're having a little bit of fun. They've got the same livery, means they race for the same league, or they represent the same league. They're not racing. They just want to get those cars, or keep those cars, or as many of their 4 cars in the top 10. Mentioning in the comment section that the gap is coming down quickly. That is right. Remember, the gap was 2.5 seconds to Tion up the road. It's now 1.8. 7/10 of a second has been found in the space of a lap. Remember, they do have that 2-lap advantage on the tires. 4 laps for the 2 SKR drivers on their mediums. 6 laps for Tion on his mediums. It's not going to make too much of a difference at this point in the race, because those mediums still have a lot of life in them. But as things go on, those 2 laps extra, they're going to become very evident. That's right, Leaded Sky just pointing out. Every time they're going side by side like that, the 2 SKR drivers, if you think, well, they're racing as a team, why are they driving past each other? Surely they're interrupting each other's flow, they're interrupting each other's racing line. It's not what they're doing. They're flinging past each other in DRS time and time again, just staying within the DRS, towing each other around, and essentially just pulling themselves closer and closer to the leader that in this equation is the only one of the 3 cars without DRS at his disposal. Gap 1.1 seconds, and shortly they're going to have DRS on the leader. Pantry Star, P4, another SKR driver. It's followed by another SKR driver in P5. Then it's Otter in P6. First of the 4QM8 drivers. Important getting one of those cars in the points. Rather, first of the Fusion drivers. This is 4QM8. The black and gold. They've got one driver leading this race. Next best in P7, picking up some valuable points. Then a pair of LSA drivers, Nicky and Monga, 8 and 9. And then another 4 QM8, that's Taserface in the final points position. And what a time to join the front. What a time to join the front. We thought Tian had lost the lead to Wheeze. Well, he's lost the lead to Wheeze and immediately lost second place to Jonas. He goes from P1 to P3. And the SKR drivers working as a team and bullying Tian out of the way. We're speaking of two SKR drivers. Here are the other two. Seems like they're pulling away from Otter. So there we go. Otter 2.3 seconds back from these two. So they are pulling away from the rest of the field. There's not much they can do about the 3 cars ahead of him. Almost a pit stop worth of a gap to the top 3. But Spikes and Pantry Star, they don't need to race. They're doing enough to get away from the field behind them. They just need to bring those cars home. And what a points tally it will be on the night. If the checkered flag fell right now, it would be 1st, 2nd, 4th and 5th. With only Tian ruining the party. Wheeze, Jonas, Tian. Who's going to come out on top? We've seen those 3 names at the top of the field throughout the race. I've said it so many times, but it's lap 30 of 36, and realistically, we don't know which one of those cars is going to win the race. They've been able to match each other on pace. They've got the same tyres, and I think what it may come down to is the fact that Tian pitted those 2 laps earlier. Probably expected to get a bigger advantage over these two, but they caught him quickly, they passed him quickly, and now the worst case scenario for him, the 2 drivers with slightly better tyres are already in front of him. There we go, you see Jonas and Wheeze just switching positions again. Just got to be so careful. It's one thing when you're working together to catch a driver or working together to pull away from a driver, but when you're working together and that third opponent is right there in the mix, so easy for the 2 teammates just to trip over themselves, allow Tian to come right back into the equation, right into the lead of the race possibly. So while you need to play the team game, you need to remember the fundamentals. The most important fundamental being, do not run into each other. Fantastic helicopter shot there, and as I say it disappears from our screens. Jonas, Wheeze, Tian. Still nothing in it. 1 second. 1 second covers all of these drivers. For 4 and 5, checking up on the SKR drivers. They're still there, driving line astern. 4 and 5, nothing changing there. It's all about the top 3 at the moment. Still SKR 1, 2, and then 4 QM8 in P3. This would obviously be a big change in the championship. SKR came into this race 3 points behind LSA in the championship. Now they've got 4 cars in the top 5. I think the highest LSA car is Monga. Might be Ragnarok. Let me just confirm that. Otter. Is Otter an LSA driver? No, he's not. No, he's not. Monga. Monga is the highest LSA driver, so the championship between those two at the moment. And the result tonight leaning very heavily for the team in green. Jonas, Wheeze, but Dion refuses. He refuses to make it easy. He refuses to let them secure the 1-2 in their mind. He stays in their mirror. He piles on the pressure. That was a terrible time to get a warning at the top of the screen. I thought it was something else, but it's not. Frano picks up a 3-second penalty. We haven't spoken too much about the penalties because it's no one in the top 6. But 3-second penalties going the way of Ragnarok, going the way of Taserface, Blade. That's Trev, and that's Baby J. And then we've got a 6-second penalty going for Monga. We saw him pick up 3 of those seconds right on lap 1. And then 9 seconds for Frana. I think I'm starting to pick up a trend. There's some fans here of the Thor movie. Ragnarok and Taserface. Not mistaken, that's even the same movie. 34 of 36. Green versus green. P1 and P2. So important. They don't trip over themselves. They want to keep that P1 and 2 irrespective of who finishes in front of who. It's just about getting them over the line 1 and 2 and making sure that Dion does not ruin the party. Still in P3 and they can't shake him off. The other 2 SKR drivers, Pantry Star, Spikes, still there, 4 and 5, lap 34 of 36. This race couldn't be going better for them if they tried. As you can see, not much they can do about the top 3. They're gradually falling away. That gap was 17 seconds to the top 3. It's now 21, so they are falling behind the top 3. But they're pulling away from the rest of the field. So the 4 and 5 looks pretty secured. Unless they have a moment of madness and run into each other. There is Ragnarok getting into the penalties column. And more and more and more penalties coming in. Lap 35 of 36. There's a twisty race circuit. It's a circuit where penalties are easy to collect. And sometimes it's right here towards the end when you start to just relax a little bit. Race is almost over. Mistake or 2 creeps in. Lap 36 of 36, it's Jonas who leads the way. Wheeze in P2, and as I say, he's in P2. He's fighting for P2. How much longer is he going to be able to hold on to it? He does hold on to it. Holds on around the outside, gets the inside for the next set of corners. And he's able to hold on to P2, but he needs to stay in the DRS of his teammate. If he's going to be able to hold on to that. They almost lost their 1-2 briefly. Some brave driving on the side of Wheeze. And I think it's just, I've mentioned it, but I feel like I haven't mentioned it enough. There's a different art to this driving. Not only are these guys finishing 1-2, remember they're having to do this as a team. They're having to use each other for DRS. They're having to do stuff they don't usually do. And all the while, don't run into each other. Here we go. Unlike F1 TV, we do cover the leaders going over the line. Jonas over the line for the victory. Weeze over the line for P2. Theon, he's going to pick up P3 for 4QM8. They will pick up some nice points on the evening. They've been starved of points this season so far. Then another SKR driver, Pantry Star. He's about to come over the line and he's followed by his teammate Spikes. That is all 4 SKR drivers in the points, 3 races in a row, and this time they've got all 4 of them in the top 5. Of course, if you are here watching from another league, apologies. Majority of the comment section, they're all here for SKR. So lots of excitement over this result. Fantastic result, and I'm not going to be able to do the maths for you. But as soon as we have those points, I'll let you know on our next stream. But I can tell you that SKR are definitely leading this championship. Otto gets driver of the day, a driver we didn't mention too much on the stream. Brief look at the podium and we go straight into the results screen. Jonas, he takes the victory. Let's get rid of that. There we go. Jonas, he takes the victory. Doesn't get the fastest lap though. That will go to his teammates, so they won't really mind. The extra point goes to SKR anyway. SKR 1-2. Then you got 4QM8. That's Tian in P3 making up the podium. Then the other 2 SKR drivers, Spikes and Pantry Star. Strong race to the end of the race, bringing it 4 and 5. Otto, the driver of the day, P6. Then Ragnarok P7. Sticky P8. Taserface P9. And Drunk Teddy Bear picks up the final point. Told you those penalties can come back to bite you. Mongo was in the points, but he finishes now P11 outside the points. Also no points for Blade, no points for Trev, Lebby. Is it Baba J, Baby J? I don't know. And Frunner. Oh, there we go. The music wasn't supposed to come on. Sorry about that. So that is the end of round 3, folks. Hope you all enjoyed it. We started with some fun technical issues in qualifying. Luckily, all of that got sorted out before we got going. We had a really, really good race. Of course, this stream is run over 2 channels. This is done on Fusion's very own YouTube channel. And then it's broadcast here on NFR because, well, I wanted to be part of League v League and I wanted all of you guys to watch it from the SKR perspective. So that's what we've done. And what a night for SKR. 1-2, 4 and 5. And I mean, you can only get one result better than that, and that would just be 1, 2, 3, and 4. So don't know if that might still come later on in the season. Maybe it will. I want to thank you all. I'm going to put on a little bit of music at the end of the stream. Everybody feel free. I don't have the link, but maybe somebody in the comments does. If you want to go over to Fusion Racing, I'm not sure if they're having any words to say on It's Free, but it is possible. So if you want to go check out their channel, you can go and do that. But I want to thank everybody here that gave us the support, everyone who watched from beginning to end, even through the technical issues. You stayed with us, you were loyal to us, and we will be back tomorrow night for SAFRL at the same time, but on Tuesday. Till then, cheers.
Well, gather round, folks, let me spin you a tale about a race car driver, George Russell by name. He's quick on the track, but don't get too excited, cause when it comes to greatness, well, he's not quite knighted. He's good, but not that great. Oh George, he's got the speed, but not the fake. Oh George, he looks like Woody from Toy Story, that's no lie. And when the race goes wrong, oh how that boy can cry. He's got the helmet, he's got the car, but when it comes to win, he's not quite up to par. He's got the look like Woody with a cowboy hat, but when he's in the pit, you'll see him shed a tear stack. Now don't get me wrong, he's got some skill, but when you're talking about the best, he's not in that mill. He'll race you hard, give you quite the fright, but in the end, he's more known for his tears at night. He's good, but not that great. Oh George, he's got the speed, but not the fate. Oh George, he looks like Woody from Toy Story, that's no lie. And when the race goes wrong, oh how that boy can cry. So here's to George, with his heart on his sleeve. In the world of Formula One, he's got a lot to achieve. He might not be the champ, but he sure is fun. So let's give a cheer for George, our Woody on the run. He's good, but not that great. Oh George, he's got the speed, but not the fate. Oh George, he looks like Woody from Toy Story, that's no lie. And when the race goes wrong, oh how that boy can cry. So here's to George, with his heart on his sleeve. In the world of Formula One, he's got a lot to achieve. He might not be the champ, but he sure is fun. So let's give a cheer for George, our Woody on the run.
It's time to go. Feel the speed, let it flow. Racing hearts, watch them glow. Turn it up, start the show. NFR, feel the heat. Fast and fierce, never beats. Engines roar, can't stay off seats. Catch the thrill, it's so sweet. NFR, drama high, stars afar. Round the track like a shooting star. Feel the rush, NFR. Lap by lap, watch them spin. Victory's close, who will win? In our heads, the engine's din. NFR, let's begin. NFR, lights are green. Zooming fast, track like a shooting star. Feel the rush, NFR. Lap by lap, watch them spin. Victory's close. Who will win? In our heads, the engine's in.